This is a matter that we've been seized with as government at the national and the county level. We have discussed various interventions with the counties, and it is important for us to brief the country on the situation so that Kenyans can know the situation in the country and what government, both at the national and county level, is doing. First, let me say that the situation in the country has been assessed, and assessment has been going on by NDMA, the National Drought Management Authority, with other multi-agency and multi-stakeholder committee that not only involves the national government under NDMA, but also county governments, UN agencies, UNICEF, World Food Program, UNDP, and other multinational agencies that are partners with the government of Kenya on many aspects. And the assessments that have been done have shown that mainly the short rains that were limited is the cause partly of the situation we're in at the moment. The assessment by these agencies has shown that the condition of vegetation in the country has been affected by the drought. The situation of livestock has been affected to an extent, and livelihoods have been affected in at least 13 counties. It is, however, important to state that the situation we have this year is better than the situation we had last year and the year before. We are, as a country, in a better place this year, whether you are looking at vegetation, whether you are looking at the body conditions of our livestock, whether you are looking at the food prices around the country. The food prices, we must state here categorically, is that the food situation is stable. The food prices are stable. In fact, the prices are within acceptable limits, and therefore it is important for Kenyans to know that we have sufficient food in the country. The food situation in the country is stable, and there should be no cause for alarm. What we are concentrating now is, together with the counties, to work on logistics of making sure that food reaches the people in affected areas in a timely manner so that we can avert and avoid any casualties from the effects of drought. As I have said, and it is important for the country to know, we have sufficient food stocks in the country. We have enough supply of food items in the country, and the prices are modest. In the assessment that has been carried out, the following 13 counties are affected: Samburu, Marsabit, Garissa, Isiolo, Mandera, Wajir, Baringo, Kilifi, Tana River, West Pokot, Makueni, Kajiado, and Kwale. In total, about 865 persons are affected by this drought in a manner that they need support. A total of 1.1 million citizens around the country are affected generally. As I have said, the situation was caused partly because of the long rains that were insufficient. But as I have said, our position as a country at this point in time is better than what it was last year. We will not have the kind of crisis we had 2 years ago because the efforts on food production have borne fruit. This year, for example, we harvested about 46 million bags of maize, which is the most stable food in the country, which is a record in many years. And therefore, it is important for all of us to understand that aspect. To deal with the situation that we have at hand, and in accordance with the PFM Act, and having agreed with the county governments that every county government must have an emergency fund to deal with emergencies like the one we have at hand, all the counties will provide the first line of intervention. And I want to thank many county governments who have taken up this responsibility and are providing the first line of intervention. I have personally talked with many of the governors, and they are doing their best. However, many of them are now telling us that the national government, as is required by the PFM Act, need to prepare to come in. And already the various ministries, departments, and agencies have been meeting since January. They have prepared the necessary interventions. They have already put together the necessary budgets to effect that intervention. And this morning, the government of Kenya has approved 2 billion shillings to be spent within this week in water tracking, making sure that boreholes and water pans are working, for food supply through the Ministry of Devolution, making sure that food is available, for logistics, and also through the Ministry of Agriculture for the necessary interventions to be carried out. We have also, as part of ensuring that there is resources around the country for people to buy food, all the beneficiaries under our cash transfer program, the vulnerable, old people, people with severe disability, and orphans. The government again has released today 12.4 billion Kenya shillings to 1.2 million beneficiaries around the country that will put them in the position to be able to buy food, especially those who are in areas that are affected by the drought. The PS in charge of social protection, Mr. Marwa, is here, and his minister is away because he's bereaved. So that intervention is rolling out from today to make sure that all those who are on that program receive their resources now in their bank accounts, and to ensure that the necessary interventions are carried out. That is the brief as Government of Kenya we have for the country. There should be no cause for alarm at the moment. The government has put in place, both at the county and at the national level, interventions to manage the current drought. We will work together with all the partners in this space, the UN agencies, and all the other friendly institutions to make sure that we do not have casualties as a result of this drought. Thank you very much. We'll take a few questions just to maybe